Okay, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. In today's video breakdown, we are going to cover in detail a BTC trade that I placed during the FOMC meeting today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to teach you guys how it is that I specifically avoided manipulation, specifically avoided being an early FOMC buyer, traded against the retail herd, respected the CYPRX strategy to the T, was patient as heck, and it all played out. So make sure that you guys stick around for this YouTube video breakdown. If these videos and others like it help you all out, smash that thumbs up button. Really do appreciate the love and the support. Really do appreciate all the growth that has happened here in the past couple of months. Without further ado, let's get started in today's video breakdown. So right now, currently floating in a 1-to-5 risk to reward ratio on my leveraged account, placing a trade on BTC. A buy position, I'm going to go over a full breakdown on how it is that I was able to catch this trade, avoiding multiple manipulation windows. Today we had the FOMC meeting, and I'm going to show you guys how the time of the FOMC meeting correlated with the manipulation and grabbing liquidity from the market, and then us here at CYPRX being able to react to that price action information. So make sure that you guys stick around for this YouTube video. Smash that thumbs up button. Blessings to you guys all for returning. Right now, I'm currently waiting to see if BTC can return to 40,000 to take full profit. If not, and we break back or pull back at least 25 to 35%, I most likely will move my stops to break even and partial out. All right, so utilizing the CYPRX strategy, we were able to, as of right now, capitalize on a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, or a 1-to-4 almost, right? And we are currently looking to see if BTC can come into 40,000. Now, everybody was being very pessimistic about this FOMC meeting, which was one confluence, right? Trading against the retail herd. Everybody was expecting BTC to sell off, and we saw early sellers manipulation and sellers manipulation heading into the FOMC meeting prior to the start of the FOMC. So I was simply thinking in my mind to trade against what the retail herd was doing at that point in time. So that was one confluence. But I want to take you guys to the hourly chart and go over some advanced price tracking, just to show you guys, and that in this general vicinity, we were purchasing from an area where banking institutions, the previous New York sessions, bought from. Okay, so if we look over here to the left-hand side, we can see three distinctual areas where the banking institutions during New York session operated from, and those areas are here, dropping price down into Asia session, and then taking buy positions during the next New York session here in this general vicinity. Same thing here. We see another New York session where New York session took buy positions here and here. All right. So correlating all of that by doing advanced price tracking on the hourly and the 15-minute, looking at where sessions the previous day bought from, we can see a general interest in this area or around this potential discounted region. Okay, so coming into this New York session, I was just tracking this day's worth of price action. We see Asia session open. Okay, we see London session, and they both place buy positions. So we have to assume that as long as BTC holds these lows, we are in a temporary uptrend. Logically speaking, these lows would need to be broken to the downside in order for us to confirm any bearish thesis. Well, we didn't get that. So I highlighted these two areas here for you guys. I'm going to jump down to the 15-minute chart now that we have all that correlated. And I'm going to show you guys how dragging my box tool from the candlestick bodies down to the wick and extending that over gave me an ideology on where the banking institutions during this New York session will purchase from. So we can see here, New York session purchased from this low. We can see, generally speaking, Asia session also took buy positions in this area. And we also can see that London session took buy positions in this general area. So we have two areas of interest here and here where the banking institutions firm discounted price would be in these general areas. And you can see now active price action. This is the live market. We have 14 minutes left on this 15-minute candlestick, and we tapped into the overall discounted price. Now getting into the FOMC meeting and the manipulation, we'll go down to the 5-minute chart. Let me clear up some of these drawings for you guys real fast. If you're enjoying this video breakdown and others like it, make sure that you smash that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do appreciate the love and the support, and it does help the YouTube channel grow. So now that we have the top-down analysis on Bitcoin, we'll head down to the 5-minute chart to go over the execution. But overall, my analysis was trade against the retail herd, which the majority of the internet and YouTube and Twitter were all thinking that Bitcoin was going to sell off. Number two, the higher time frame, i.e. the hourly, is currently bullish. We saw in previous sessions that New York session was buying price action, right? You can see here they were giving themselves discount and placing buys. Same thing, this New York session giving themselves discount and placing buys. So we have areas of interest now on the 15-minute chart coming into this daily candlestick or this day's worth of price action where we can see potential discount in price if Bitcoin did melt into those regions. So keeping all of those things in mind, we'll now jump into the lower time frame, the 5-minute chart, to go over distinguished price action. Going over the manipulation region, what can we see? Again, that New York session manipulation window prior to the New York session start, we can see what in the form of retail traps. What can we see in this boxed area? Retail supportive methodologies, where we can imagine people know that FOMC meeting comes out today and they were anticipating that Bitcoin was going to do what? Either buy or sell off. And we can see that confliction in the form of retail money here in this area, buying and selling, battling and selling, battling and battling, right? Then price finally breaks out of this manipulation window and we immediately attack early buyers or retail supportive regions. Okay, you can see here, as soon as we break out of that manipulation window, the markets tank and we come into that general vicinity. Now, this area was very interesting because I knew that FOMC started at 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here in the United States. And that was right here where I have delegated for you guys. Right here, you guys can see down at the bottom of my charts, 2:30 on the dot. Pay attention to this manipulation. It's hilarious. So early FOMC buyers, I had this marked off because when we saw this bullish rally or this bullish run, all I was saying to myself was, these are early buyers enticing that the FOMC meeting is going to be bullish for Bitcoin. And most likely the market makers, as always, need to move price lower before they move higher. It's too early on in the session prior to the FOMC meeting start for us to take buy positions. And look at what happens, you guys. People are buying all of the anticipation, chasing all of the bullish candlesticks, putting leverage positions all in this general vicinity, and the market grabs liquidity from highs and reverses. Now retail traders are confused because they're looking at price action now as this being a lower low, lower high, lower low formation, and now they're filling in sell positions. So now their buy positions have been liquidated. Now they're in sell positions trying to chase the market because they think it's going to sell off. But I want you guys to pay attention specifically to times and areas that we've marked off on our charts. We already have these two aqua blue highlighted areas where we can see on the 15-minute chart their previous sessions bought from this area, all right, or these general areas. So we know that if price gets pushed into these areas, price is still discounted from where banking institutions bought from the previous day. Coming into the FOMC meeting, I want you guys to see, look at the bearish candlestick when the FOMC meeting started, look and see what price action did. At 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we printed a bearish engulfing candlestick. Everybody watching the FOMC during this time and the charts were like, oh my gosh, this is a bearish candlestick, price is going to sell. So what were they doing? Retail herd was chasing bearish candlesticks. They were putting in leverage sell positions above these highs. And also, what do we have above these highs? Trend line liquidity, okay? So you guys can see the manipulation. We have trend line liquidity to the upside, and they shot a bearish candlestick to the downside when the FOMC meeting started to entice people to sell. So now there's leverage positions all above these highs. We already know the overall trend of the market is up. Why? Because the banking institutions trade off higher time frame, and we already identified areas of interest that would be discounted price for New York session to look for purchasing power from if they are going to buy. Now, taking my Fibonacci from this low where London session purchased from, we know that banking institutions like to purchase from discounted areas where previous banking institutions purchased from. All I did to capitalize on this move was I simply waited for 2 to 3 minutes after the FOMC session started, and we can see this bearish candlestick wicking beneath the early FOMC buyers and rejecting the discounted region from where London session purchased from. So taking my fib from the low to the high, extending that up. During the manipulation region from early FOMC buyers, you can see that that was a high that wicked through the manipulation window. And you can see where I entered in at 62% discount. And we had a nice bullish run to come and liquidate any people that were enticing a sell move during the FOMC or prior to the FOMC meeting. All right. So as you guys can see, my strategy is trading against the retail herd, moving in tandem with what the bank and institutions are doing. We're rejecting psychological levels. We're grabbing liquidity. We're utilizing our Fibonacci tool properly to measure discounted price based off of where bank and institutions bought from the previous day. Okay. It's very simple to do. If you guys want to learn my strategy, the link is in the description down below for the mentorship. You guys can always reach out to me. I really do appreciate the love and the support that everybody shows this YouTube page. This is a beautiful execution surrounding the CYPRX strategy, manipulation, not only in the manipulation window and avoiding that, right? But also avoiding trading prior to major news coming out. This shows you how being patient and sitting on your hands can really benefit you in the market. Imagine if you were trading a leveraged account and you entered all here in this area prior to the FOMC meeting because you FOMO'd in chasing bullish candlesticks and you moved your stops to break even, or you were trading on a leveraged account and then the market starts to reverse against you, and you, being an over leveraged trader, start to see this as bearish order flow and breaks of structure, and you close your position. Then the market taps into where you entered at and reverses 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pips in your favor. You're going to beat yourself up. Don't do that. Instead, say to yourself, I am a patient trader. I am an amazing and outstanding trader who understands manipulation in this market, and I wait for enticements to take place, liquidity grabs, rejections of psychological levels, and I avoid manipulation. You say that to yourself and you can come out on top of these markets. Again, nothing that I constitute here is financial advice. Blessings to you guys all. I do appreciate the love and the support. Like I said, beautiful execution on BTC. I'm going to see if this trade can run into 40,000. I'm going to attempt to move my stops to break even now and maybe potentially scale in. Let's see if there's any higher lows that we can put our stop loss at yet. Not necessarily. So I'm just going to move my stops to break even and see if this comes into fruition, this $40,000 target. Let's see. Blessings to you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video breakdown. Again, make sure that you smash that subscribe button, like the YouTube video, helps boost the YouTube algorithm. Comment down in the description down below if these videos are helping you out, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.